What's up, guys? Once again, it is MP4Podcast.com, bringing you guys some of the most interesting video game news that you guys really do need to know about. Now, Microsoft is going to boost the Xbox One power by 8%. The way they're going to be able to do this is by disabling the camera in the Kinect by 8%. Now, so when you're playing your Titanfall, your Watch Dogs, your Black Ops 3, and so on, when the games are running, the developers are going to be able to disable the camera in the Kinect, which will boost the GPU by 8%. However, this doesn't sound like a very big boost. When you start adding up all these little boosts that the Xbox One is getting in the GPU, they did a boost for the GPU before. I think it was 6 or I think it was 15%, I believe. The CPU got a boost. I think it used to be 1.6 and it got bumped up to 1.75 or something. I can't quite remember. But you know, the Xbox One is getting a boost here and here and here and there. So when you start adding up all these little boosts here and there, it does help out the system quite a lot. Now, the Xbox One is going to get a very big boost once the new stereo drivers come out. Rise, Son of Rome, which is the only game that we know of as of right now that used the stereo drivers. In March, Crytek will be talking to other developers and how they achieved these graphics. Now, we do know that Halo 5 will be using the stereo drivers. Also, rumor is The Witcher 3 will also be using these stereo drivers. But let's say other games which aren't going to be ready to implement the new stereo drivers, such as Watch Dogs, such as maybe even Titanfall, I don't quite know. Those games can get that extra 8% boost. That's actually a pretty good thing, because Infinity Ward was trying to get Call of Duty Ghosts to run at 1080p at 60 frames per second. They weren't able to achieve that because of the Kinect, most likely. And now Microsoft is, starting to give a little bit with developers. Microsoft does not want the Xbox One to look like an inferior console to the PlayStation 4. As I have said multiple times in probably 100 million other videos, that competition is a good thing. I think everybody says that. But anyway, that's just a little funny. But anyway, it's good that the PlayStation 4 is outperforming the Xbox One, because it's making Microsoft listen to developers a little bit more and say, okay, you want more power? We'll give it to you guys. So when you're playing Watch Dogs, let's say you're playing for an hour or two of Watch Dogs, and maybe you want to watch TV now, right? You can say Xbox TV. And the TV will start up, right? The game will close. You're back in watching television, and that software for the camera can reload up. Maybe it takes a couple of seconds or whatever. Maybe you'll have to wait. Who cares? And you can start moving the menus or whatever with your hands. It's not a big deal. The camera should be disabled for games if the game does not use the camera. I know Battlefield uses the camera, so if you lean your body left or right, your character on screen will lean a little bit. I know on the PlayStation 4 you can use the controller, tilt shift. It has an accelerometer in the PlayStation 4 controllers. But anyway, I'm getting a little bit off topic. But this is actually a good thing now that Microsoft is really trying to think about how to make the Xbox One an amazing video game console. And I really do think that next year or so on, everything is going to fall into place for the Xbox One. Well, who knows? Maybe even the PlayStation 4 has new drivers in the work and so on. Don't forget that one of the girls who worked for 343 Studio, I think she worked for 343 Studios. She was like one of the engineers that worked on the Halo engine. She now works at Naughty Dog. So a lot of these people work for Sony, they work for Microsoft, they go and they work for these other companies and so on. There's smart people in all the camps. If you look at Microsoft, Sony, Valve, it doesn't make any difference. There's all really smart, intelligent people. And competition is a good thing, so doesn't matter what console you get, you're going to have a good experience. Like I said before, if you're going to buy one of these consoles, I can't stress it enough, you want to buy the console that has a controller that's comfortable for you, and try to play a game here and there for about 10 minutes or so and get that feel. You can't really judge it while you're just holding the controller. You need to play a game. And also, look at the exclusives that you want to play. Who has the more exclusives that you do want to play, or maybe who really has that one exclusive that you want to play. Maybe you want to really play Titanfall for hours. I know I was watching an old episode, I think Painkiller already. I think Woody talked about Woody's Gamertag. He said, you know, you buy Call of Duty and you get hundreds and hundreds of hours of replay value. So that's something you have to think about too. You know, a lot of people, they buy Call of Duty, and that game can give them thousands and thousands of hours of entertainment with online. So, you know, if a first-person shooter like Titanfall is your thing, then I can see you leaning to Xbox One for Titanfall because you'll have so many hours of amazing fun. However, maybe you're not into Titanfall, and you're looking at, well, I like Halo, but I think I want to play The Order, and I want to play this from Sony, and this other, and I want to play God of War, then the PlayStation 4 might be the right choice for you. Who knows? The only person who can answer that question is you. Once again, guys, this has been mp4podcast.com. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments below. Give me a like, as it really does help out the video and so on. Once again, guys, you guys stay safe, stay warm, because it's winter time. And remember, game on, and don't forget to hit the continue button if you die. Or if you're at the arcade, put an extra quarter in. I'm just goofing around. Once again, guys, have a good one. Later, guys. Bye.